Hey, I'm back with part two of how teaching Algebra 1 and math lessons helped me with life lessons. I want to talk about two vocabulary terms today, congruence and the law of large numbers. The law of large numbers usually is used a lot with statistics and probability. And basically, it means that the more experiments or trials that one does, the more likely you're going to get your expected outcome or pretty close to it. Keep trying, keep going, keep going. You're going to eventually get to what it is you want. You know, that didn't make sense to me initially when I even learned about the law of large numbers. I wasn't expecting that definition, but I was helped with seeing my efforts and how I attempted to do some things multiple times with not yielding the results that I wanted. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me one day and said, Stephanie, the expectation should not just be what you want, but the expectation should be what I want. And I need you to keep trying, because through each try, you are going to learn something more about you, about me, and about what it is, the work, the assignment that I'm having you to do. Oftentimes we want to surrender and yield to quitting because we want the expectation to happen sooner than later. But depending on our tailor-made journey, we just have to keep at it, and we'll see as we go, and even later, why we needed the number of tries that we had to have in our case. So the law of large numbers helped me with looking at the expectation God's way. Was it in alignment, first of all, with what He wanted? Maybe that's why I had to keep trying and trying and trying. The other was congruency. Congruency deals with a lot with angles and sides of shapes, having not just similar identities, but exact identities with angle measurements and side measurements. And here again, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, Stephanie, you're not in alignment. You think you are, but you're not there yet. And I'm giving you grace, but what you think is an alignment and an agreement with me, it's not. I learned that I was associating in communities that were not compatible with what God wanted for me. And even I knew I wasn't comfortable in these places. And there were spaces that I put myself in that weren't safe. No safe spaces, no compatible communities, no agreeable activities that I was involving myself in. I mean, they weren't all bad, but they weren't good for me. And many of them were taking up time, energy, and thought that I needed to invest in some things that the Lord wanted me to do. So I wasn't living a congruent lifestyle. I was out of order. Yeah. And so the Lord spoke to me with those two terms. I tell you, it's amazing how the Lord will use everyday life. It could be a movie. It could be a conversation with someone, just everyday things on the job, and the Lord is speaking. So that's part two. And by the way, talking about safe spaces, tomorrow night on my podcast, which will be live, I'll be talking about safe spaces, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can, tune in. All right. So I'll be back with some more life lessons that I have picked up along the way that helped me and may help you just from teaching algebra.